Welcome into the High Plains Spas and Recreations pregame show here on KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. And welcome into Oregon Trail Park Stadium here in Gary, Nebraska, home of your Western Nebraska Pioneers. I'm your voice of the Pioneers, Jeffrey Nelson. We're just 15 minutes away from first pitch of a three-game series for the Pioneers as they get set to take on the Dodge City A's here at home at Oregon Trail Park. And home has been a familiar place and a happy place for the Pioneers this year, where they stand at 19-6 at home. And they are currently on an 8-game winning streak as they won all 3 games on their road trip, the 2 games of the doubleheader on Sunday and the 1 game in Greeley last night. All 3 of those games, which were 7-inning contests, will play 9 tonight unless there is a mercy rule in effect as we get set for first pitch here at Oregon Trail Park. On the mound today for the Western Nebraska Pioneers is Ronan Hella. He's been a key to the success for the Pioneers today after starting the season with 20-plus innings pitched of scoreless baseball for the 6'4" right-hander out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, who is a surprise starter for the Pioneers here. And as we get set for first pitch, well, Hella so far this season, in fact, has been great in league play. As we take a look at his numbers, and Ronan Hella has pitched 20 and a third innings, 17 hits, 8 runs, giving him a 3.09 ERA, but the number I look at is 21 strikeouts to 4 walks for the tall right-hander. That is a heck of a job by Ronan Hella to have 21 strikeouts to 4 walks in 20 and a third innings pitched of league play. That is pretty outstanding for the right-hander, who didn't really expect to pitch at all coming into this season, but when he was offered the opportunity, he gave it a shot, and he's done more than just give it a shot. He's done a heck of a job out there on the mound as he gets the ball today in the start of the first game against the Dodge City A's. When we come back on the High Plains Spas and Recreations, more of a preview into this series, as we've talked a little bit about the bickering between the two teams, but more about the series and how important these games are for the Pioneers here at Oregon Trail Park. You're listening to the High Plains Spas and Recreations pregame show on KNEB Radio and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. Welcome back into the High Plains Spas and Recreations pregame show here at Oregon Trail Park. The umpires are on the field. It's Cody Hoffrock and his brother Nolan Hoffrock who will be the 2 umpires today for this game between the Western Nebraska Pioneers and the Dodge City A's. So as we look into this series and we look at the Rocky Mountain Baseball League standings, where the Western Nebraska Pioneers stand at currently, it still says 9-11. That puts them in 5th, and the Dodge City A's are at 9-14. Although we know that record is a little bit different for the Western Nebraska Pioneers in league play. Right now, they stand at 24-15 on the season, which is quite an impressive record at that. And as we take a look at their league record, they are 9-13, with the Dodge City A's being 9-14. So they'll have to win 2 of these games in order to stay ahead of the Dodge City A's. as they're just a half game up on the team from Kansas, and the Western Nebraska Pioneers look to Ronan Hella today to continue their winning ways as they've won their last 8 games, as I mentioned before we went to break. And the Pioneers will send out quite a good lineup today here at Oregon Trail Park, and the lineup looks like so. Kieran Gaffney leads things off with Francisco Laya batting second and playing right field. Gaffney's at second base. Nowak bats third. He's in left. Jackson Yeager is the first baseman today and the cleanup hitter, followed by Bryce Peterson and Aiden Young, who are at third and the designated hitters. And rounding out the lineup is the typical 3 guys we have at the bottom of the order in Maroney, Barnes, and Carpenter, catcher, shortstop, and center field for the Seguin, Texas native. Now, as for the Dodge City A's, 2 guys that Coach Ryan Spear and Chris Isaac wanted to key in on are Grant Weisermans and Matthew Rivers, who had his first home run of the season yesterday in Fort Collins. It was a heavy contest in terms of the run totals last night for these Dodge City A's, who traveled from Fort Collins today on the 2-hour bus ride to the east here to Gearing, Nebraska. And Matthew Rivers, who's a big guy, got his first home run of the season yesterday in that contest, although the Dodge City A's fell to the Fort Collins Foxes. Now the Pioneers will have to hit here at their home ballpark, something they've struggled to do in the middle innings of games, as they've struggled to muster up runs throughout the middle innings, especially starting in the 3rd inning until about the 6th inning or so is where they've really struggled, as their numbers falter in those middle parts of the ball game. Of course, our intern Cole Mayberry has composed those stats and put them together, and he's given those to me about how the Pioneers have done so far this season in terms of innings and how they've done at home. Of course, we know that they're 19-6 at home, but when we look at their record in home games, which of course is 19-6, but as of a couple weeks ago, they are 36-14 in terms of runs allowed and runs scored in the 3rd inning. And that has not changed much, as they struggle to score in those middle innings where they are in the negatives in terms of run differential, although they outscore teams by 9 and 15, so that's a total of 14 runs, or rather 24 runs over the course of the last 2 innings of a ball game. And if you tack on the extra innings, which was the 2 runs they got against the A's, and they've scored 4 in extra innings so far this year. And so for the Pioneers, they're a quality when they're tied or ahead after the ball game, but instead when they're trailing late in the ball game, they struggle to come back. As our new PA address announcer, intern Maya Giamarino, is announcing the Pioneers lineup, and they are taking the field, and we're getting set for the national anthem here, which will be sang by one of our game day staff members, Emily, here at Oregon Trail Park, as Carpenter takes the field and joins Nowak and Laya in center field, and Hella joins Yeager and Maroney behind the pitching mound. And we are just about set for the national anthem. We're almost set for Pioneers baseball here on KNEB Radio and the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. So we thank you for listening to the High Plains Spas Recreations pregame show. When we come back after the national anthem, we'll have first pitch. well-sang rendition of the national anthem. They're much better than we had at the Home Run Derby last night. And Pioneers baseball starts now. Ronan Hella finishes up his warm-up pitches on the mound, and we're just about set for first pitch here at Oregon Trail Park, as he'll face Shannon Martin, who will be the first batter of the ball game for the Dodge City A's. Martin, Grant Weisermans, Nate Murphy, Isaiah Velasco, C.D. Sharples, Jaron Gorsh, Matthew Rivers, Bo Danzak Mora. And here we go. Play ball announced by our play ball kid today. And Hella is set to climb on top of the mound to face the right-handed hitting Shannon Martin. Martin goes to Texas Southern. He's a sophomore from New Orleans, Louisiana. Frock gives the play sign, and we're set for first pitch. First pitch is up and in. It's ball one to start the day for Ronan Hella. 1-0 is cut on and missed. At a pitch up in the zone by Martin as he chases. It's 1-1. 1-1 pitch as we're just underway is low and bounces up there and hits the foot of Maroney. And it is 2-1 on Shannon and Martin. The shortstop who leads off for the Dodge City A's today. That breaking ball's in there for a strike. And it's 2-2 on Shannon Martin, who leads things off for the Dodge City A's. Hella ready and deals a 2-2. Fastball on the outside part. He snags it up on the mound and will throw to Yeager at first base and record the first out of the day. A nice play by the typical shortstop, Ronan Hella, making the play on the comebacker from Shannon Martin to lead off the day. Grant Weisermans, who had 2 home runs against the Pioneers in their 8-7 victory. Steps into the box and takes a breaking ball, strike one from Ronan Hella. A 1 count on Weiserman. The 0-1 is off the fist and on 2 hops to E.J. Barnes, who fields and throws the first. Yeager stretches for that one and makes the play. And there's 2 down on the first 2 batters for Ronan Hella. Nate Murphy, the catcher. He'll be the next batter with 2 outs here. Murphy is a freshman from Bigsby, Oklahoma. He goes to Northwest Oklahoma. Does the catcher. 1-0 on Murphy with nobody on. Pitch is low. It's 2-0 to the catcher for the Dodge City A's. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. A good breaking ball from Hella. He could throw that in any count, which is so important for a starting pitcher. 2-1. Breaking ball, rope towards third. On one hop, Peterson fields it. It goes out of his glove, goes to the ground. The throw to first is not in time. It gets by Yeager. And Murphy's going to hold his position at first. Did he make a turn towards second base at all? Well, he's going to be on the bag. See if they try to tag him at all. No, they're not. Although Nolan Hoffrock is looking at it to see if somebody's going to make a play. No, it'll be an infield single as that ball went off the glove of Peterson, and in fact, they give him an E5. So a rough E5 for Bryce Peterson allows Murphy to reach. Stepping to the plate is the left-handed hitting Isaiah Velasco. Velasco goes to Cal Berkeley. He's a junior from Sylmar, California. And swings through a breaking ball, strike one. The 0-1 is in there at the knees. Ooh, just missed below the knees, according to Cody Hoffrock behind the plate. He's a good umpire as Cody Hoffrock. Always likes to know how his zone was on the day. So it's 1-1 on Velasco with Murphy off of first, and the 1-1 pitch is grounded to the right side. Gaffney goes to his left. He fields it, throws to first in time, and that'll end the inning. So one runner reaches on the E5. No runs on no hits, one error, and a runner left on base. Pioneers coming to bat. We have no score.
Okay, I am in section 103, and I'm here with Doug, and he is our lucky fan to win 10 of these 8 of these lottery tickets. And if the Pioneers get the ball over one of these Nebraska lottery tickets, you can win 20 more. So congratulations. Welcome back up to you, Naya. Thanks, Kelly. On the fly with Party Deck, we would like to welcome Marker AG. We thank you for your continued support of the Pioneers. On the script, this is Zero Party Deck. We would like to welcome the Rotary Club. We thank you for your continued support of the Pioneers.
Back here at Oregon Trail Park, we go to the bottom of the first. Frank Tinoco's on the mound. He's pitched in just 3 innings in league play. He's given up 1 hit and 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. As he'll face the Western Nebraska Pioneers here in the bottom of the first. After a good inning for Ronan Hella on the mound, he needed just 14 pitches to get through the inning. You got a comebacker, a ground ball to short. An E5 on Bryce Peterson at third base, and then he got a ground ball to second base. So he involved all of his infielders in the first inning. And he'll get set to watch his offense go to work here in the bottom of the first. Kieran Gaffney, Francisco Laya, Luke Nowak, Jackson Yeager, Bryce Peterson, Aiden Young, Jake Maroney, E.J. Barnes, and Coy Carpenter is the lineup for the Western Nebraska Pioneers. Gaffney leads things off, the Broomfield, Colorado native, who's going to University of Mary in the fall. He's very excited about that. Usually he's a first baseman. He's got 2 different colored gloves at the plate. Right hand has 1 white glove, and his left hand has a red glove. 83 miles an hour from Frank Tinoco. On the first pitch to Gaffney is up high, ball 1 as we're underway in the bottom of the first. First pitch was at 6:35, by the way, and we're at 86 degrees here in Gering, Nebraska. So we were on time today. And a little bit cooler than it's been recently. 2-0 count on Gaffney. It's down low, and it's 3-0. Gaffney's been so good at getting on base out of the leadoff spot ever since he was put there a month ago, when they played these exact Dodge City A's in the first game of the 6-game road trip. A good slider there from Tinoco. Gets there over the plate for strike 1, and it's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch from Tinoco to Gaffney is lined to left field, and it will fall in front of the left fielder, Zach Mora. And Gaffney's on here, leading things off in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Francisco Laya, La Bestia, who comes to the plate for the Pioneers, now leading the team in average in league play at .365 with his 23 for 63. Of course, the 3 games over the weekend on the road were not league games. But his average still went up on those league games as well. Non-league games, I could sure as hell tell you that. And that pitch is a strike down the middle, up in the top of the zone on Laya. Got up to 27 stolen bases on the season, as he stole 2 bags in Greeley. The 1-0 is lined over towards second base. It's caught by the second baseman, Gorsh, who throws to first and doubles up Gaffney. The runner is erased on a double play. A line drive right at the second baseman, and that's Jaron Gorsh over there. So you know Gorsh is at second. At first is Matthew Rivers. On the left side of the infield, it's Shannon Martin, who led things off. And the third baseman is Bo Dalian. In left field is Zach Mora. Center field is Grant Weisermans. And right field is Isaiah Velasco. Tinoco deals to his catcher today, Nate Murphy, and it's fouled off into the A's dugout on the first base side by Luke Nowak. The Frisco, Texas native has been struggling a little bit at the plate, although his average is still above 300. That pitch is down low to Nowak. It's 1-1. The right-hander deals a 1-1 pitch. It's on the outside corner, and it's strike 2. A backdoor breaking ball there on Luke Nowak. That pitch is down and in, goes to the backstop. 2-2 count. Two-two pitch. Grounded off the fist towards the shortstop Martin, who charges it, throws on the run. It's in time, and that ends the inning. So facing the minimum is Tinoco as he retires Nowak for the third out. No runs on 1 hit. The leadoff single was erased on the double play. No errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 1, we have no score. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on KNEB Radio and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. C.D. Sharples leads things off here in the top of the second for the Dodge City A's. It'll be Sharples, Gorsh, and Rivers. As Hella deals a backdoor breaking ball for strike one to Sharples, the left-handed hitting designated hitter. Stands pretty tall out there, not as tall as the 6'4" Ronan Hella. He might be up there, though, in height. Pitch is down low. First two games will be league games between these two teams, with the last game being a non-league game. That's Thursday's game at 11 a.m. This one's grounded to second. Once again, Gaffney goes to his left, scoops it up, and throws to first in time. Jaron Gorsh, the second baseman, comes to the plate. And for Gorsh, it's not listed on the roster, so I can't tell you where he's from. He's from University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, so he's facing a teammate in Ronan Hella out there on the mound. First pitch was low. It's 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch is just below the knees, according to Hoffrock, behind the plate. 2-0 count on Gorsh. New teammate who's at third base in Bryce Peterson, as he'll be going to Colorado Springs. Fans at the 2-0 pitch. Of course, he's probably never seen Hella, considering Hella didn't pitch for the Mountain Lions this year. Two and one. And the pitch is another breaking ball. That's in there for strike two. Maroney thought it was strike three. He was ready to throw it over to Bryce Peterson until Hoffrock said two with an emphatic strike two call behind the plate. 2 balls and two strikes is the count on the second baseman, Jaron Gorsh. 2-2 is way outside. It bounces in the left-handed batter's box. The count runs full here on Gorsh, who I'm sure wants bragging rights over Hella. Although I'm sure Hella would like it to be the same for him when they go back to Colorado Springs. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball and a late swing off the fist of Jaron Gorsh. Matthew Rivers gets that foul ball on the late swing. The payoff. Fouled off towards the right field side and out of play down the first baseline over by the flower garden and the store that's down and past the right field line. Do an eighth pitch in this at-bat as Hella will deal to Gorsh with one out in the second. He drops down to the side, gets him to sky one down the left field line. We'll see if anybody can get there. Peterson by the fence, and it lands in the bullpen. A long way for E.J. Barnes, Bryce Peterson, and Luke Nowak, with nothing to show for it as the ball fell over the wall and into the bullpen. And so we'll do a ninth pitch when our third baseman, shortstop, and left fielder find their positions in the infield and the outfield. Ella walking around the mound to give his guys some time and also maybe catch their breath. And possibly think about what pitch he wants to execute here. He just threw a couple breaking balls. Maybe we'll see if he can dot a fastball down and away to Jaron Gorsh. The payoff is another breaking ball. This one skied in a much easier position for Peterson, although he's over by the bench. And it's going to land just out of play down the little ramp that there is just past the bench over there, past the Pioneers dugout. So another pop-up from Jaron Gorsh means Cody Hoffrock needs some new baseballs, our home plate umpire today. Retrieves them from Coach Jay O'Connor. And we'll see what Hella decides to do here. Of course, he has a payoff pitch to deal to Jaron Gorsh. And here it is, and it's outside. He lost them, and he's frustrated at that, is Hella. And that's a walk. Rare walk for Ronan Hella. Rivers, who homered yesterday in Fort Collins, comes to the plate. And he had a runner on when he hit that home run. It was a 2-run shot. First pitch to Rivers, swings through that one. That's a cut on and miss at a breaking ball from Ronan Hella. A 1 count on Matthew Rivers. Ronan Hella with a throw over. A 1 breaking ball front hip is inside on Rivers. As he takes that one and almost turned out of the way. Counts even at 1-1. Another throw over. Back with a dive, although it looked like it was an awkward dive for Jaron Gorsh over there. He almost didn't get back to the first base bag. 1-1. The pitch is another breaking ball from Hella. Ooh, that's called a strike by Hoffrock on the inside part of the plate. Well, if he's consistent with it, I'm sure you won't get complaining from the two teams. 1-2 rather, with 1 out. Hella might look for a double play. Throw over. And just back in time is Jaron Gorsh. One and two. Wind is going on Hella's jersey as the wind has picked up and it's blowing in from right here at Oregon Trail Park. Another throw over. Back in time is Gorsh. So keeping him close. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, down on strikes. The first strikeout of the day for Ronan Hella. As that's the second out here in inning number 2. And the batter will be Bo Dalian. Dalian is the third baseman and comes to the plate for the first time. The tall third baseman at that. Might be taller than Hella out there. As he takes a strike at the knees. Dalian, in fact, is the same height from Wichita, Kansas as well. Is the third baseman. Throw over, keeping Gorsh close. Not a huge lead for Gorsh, although Hella's thrown over a lot of times, and a back pick from Maroney on a pitch that's high. So it's 1-1, and it's not in time. One, breaking ball, grounded to the left side. Peterson's there. He'll go the long way to first base in time to get his counterpart at first. So another runner stranded for the Dodge City A's. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Pioneers coming to bat in the bottom of the second. We have no score.
Don't forget to use hashtag WN Pioneers for a chance to be highlighted in our story.
Yeager, Peterson, and Aiden Young will be the batters due up for the Pioneers. Middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6 against Frank Tinoco. As Yeager will look to get things started.
For making the President's List at Western Nebraska Community College. Give it up for Bryce Peterson.
First pitch of the second inning from Tinoco is drilled to left field, back by the wall, and it is just foul. Hoffrock says it's a foul ball. Yeager smoked one down the left field line, almost had himself his 4th home run of the season. I think it might have gone over the foul pole. Hoffrock is talking to Sharkey about 45 feet, halfway between third and home. Hoffrock has the best angle. He's right behind the plate. So Yeager, long strike one against Tinoco. See if he can straighten that one out. There's no doubt about that one. He now grinds this one up the middle into center field. So swinging at the first 2 pitches from Tinoco, and Yeager's on with a single to center. Bryce Peterson, who made the President's List at WNCC, will take both his academics and his playing abilities to Colorado Springs in the fall, where he'll be teammates with Ronan Hella and Jaron Gorsh. He takes strike one on the pitch from Tinoco. Yeager off of first after his single, the second hit of the day for the Piles. Reaching at that one and just getting a piece of it was Peterson. It's quickly 0-2 on the third baseman, who's been oh so consistent for the Pioneers this year. And one of the guys that the players can look up to in terms of playing the game the right way. Slide step pitch on the 0-2 is low. It's 1-2. Peterson, of course, was able to stay at home during this Pioneers road trip in Brighton, Colorado. Second time in about a week and a half he was able to do so. And now he gets a jam shot towards left field. Going out is Martin, coming in as the left fielder Mora. He makes the play on the move and retires Peterson as the first out in the second. So Tinoco, who gave up a somewhat hard hit single up the middle by Yeager after giving up a laser of a foul ball on the first pitch of the inning, gets his first out here in the second. Ronan Hella's friend from when he grew up, Aiden Young, comes to the plate. Plays at Amarillo College down in Texas. And the first pitch he sees is a slider off the plate from Tinoco. Just missed off the plate. One-0 pitch to Young is a fastball. Skied down the right field line and out of play. It's 1-1. One pitch with Yeager off of first is down low, and it's 2-1. Out of the zone as well was that pitch from Tinoco. Outside and low as well was that pitch from Tinoco. It's a 3-1 count on for Aiden Young, who loves hitting fastballs. We'll see if he gets one here in a 3-1 count. But if he can put a charge into one like Yeager did on the first pitch of the inning. Set at the belt is Tinoco. Yeager with a short lead off of first is going. The pitch is down in the dirt. The throw is in plenty of time, and the head first slide from Yeager is into the tag by the second baseman Gorse. So caught stealing is Yeager on an attempted hit and run, and it was a breaking ball to Aiden Young. As the caught stealing goes 2-4, and there's quickly 2 outs here in the second. 3-2 is the count on Aiden Young as he swung through that 3-1 breaking ball. Payoff pitch, and Tinoco's going to step off the back of the mound, maybe rethink his 3-2 pitch after getting a swing and a miss on that breaking ball. And he wants to go into the windup. That's what it is. So he goes into his windup and deals a payoff. It's on the outside corner. Got Aiden Young looking. Down on strikes is Young, and that ends the inning. So the caught stealing as the Pioneers have run into outs on the base paths twice in the first 2 innings. No runs on a hit. The second hit of the ball game. No errors and nobody left on base. At the end of 2, we have no score. Ronan Hella will deal to 9-1-2 in the Dodge City A's order, as that starts with Zach Mora here in the top of the third. Mora, Martin, and Weisermans. The left fielder is set for the first pitch of the inning, and it's a breaking ball on the outside corner from Hella for strike 1. Mora goes to Westmont. He's from Moore Park, California. A bunch of California kids, about 6 or 7 on this Dodge City A's team. The 0-1 is up high. Well high is that pitch from Ronan Hella. One count, and the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-2. One-two pitch. Another breaking ball caught on and missed by Mora. He's down on strikes. I think it was held on to by Maroney behind the plate to confirm the strikeout and complete it. Leadoff man Shannon Martin comes to the plate. Bounce back to Hella on a comebacker to lead off the ball game. Takes outside, 1-0. One oh's inside, 2-0. Nobody on with 1 out here after the strikeout of Mora, the second on the day for Hella. He deals a 2-0 to Shannon Martin in there for strike 1. just missed below the knees, did Hella. Maybe a bit off, and Hoffrock is telling Maroney a little bit off the plate. So it's 3-1 on Martin. Don't want to put him on. He's got good speed. And the 3-1 is a breaking ball that finds the outside corner on this one for Hella. Payoff pitch with one out in the third. Fastball grounded to third on 2 hops for Peterson. He fields, makes the long throw, which is always accurate from Bryce Peterson. And that is the second out here in the third. Breaking ball to Grant Weisermans, the center fielder, who grounded out to shortstop his first time. His average is up near 400 on the year. 1-0. Swing and a miss through that one as Weiserman stepped out on the pitch, pulling off of that one, which causes him to lose some power. We know he has some power considering he hit 2 home runs against the Pioneers in Dodge City. Pitch is up the middle. E.J. Barnes to his left, fields it behind the second base bag. It's a low throw, but it's up high enough for Yeager, who makes the play. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ronan Hella. Needs just 13 pitches to get through this inning, so the long second inning has him up close to 50 pitches. But it's still scoreless on the mound for Ronan Hella. We'll head to the bottom of the third with no score. Maroney from San Jose State comes to the plate. The catcher gets his first at-bat of the day here in the bottom of the third. We're scoreless as Maroney fouls this one off out of play on the first pitch from Frank Tinoco. Tinoco, who's given up singles to lead off both innings, has retired them. One on a caught stealing, one on a double play. He deals to Maroney. Oh, that one looked like it was on the outside corner. Might have just been off the plate. Counts even at 1-1 on Maroney, who struggled with his offense, but he has been so good behind the plate that he's been in there in the lineup just about every day. He grounds this one back to Tinoco, who takes it over towards Rivers at first and flips it to his first baseman. So getting the first batter in the inning for Tinoco for the first time today. And E.J. Barnes will come to the plate, and the San Diego, California native, one of the 2 San Jose State Spartans left. Of course, Jaden Onaka just committed elsewhere. Onaka, who had to leave the team with an injury. And the first pitch to Barnes is down and away. It's 1-0. We're in the bottom of the third. No score. Jeffrey Nelson here with you on KNEB Radio on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. Pitch is down and away on the same pitch almost from Tinoco. It's 2-0 to the shortstop, E.J. Barnes. Ball 3, as that one is about a 59-footer and goes to the backstop. Be retrieved by Kieran Gaffney. .30 pitch when Tinoco is ready as he gets his sign from Murphy. And the 3-0 is right down the middle to Barnes. It's 3-1. .31 is just inside. It's a walk for E.J. Barnes. He tosses the bat away with confidence. Seeing that pitch on the inside part of the plate. And he'll be on first when Coy Carpenter steps into the box for the first time today. And the McMurray University Warhawk gets set to bat here. So it's not the first batter that reaches, but it's the second one here in the third inning after a leadoff single from Gaffney in the first and a leadoff single from Yeager in the second. Barnes stands on first as Tinoco goes to the stretch and deals just off the plate on the outside corner to Coy Carpenter. One-0 count on Carpenter. Barnes starts and stops. The pitch is outside. Murphy pops up out of his stance. But Barnes is still over at first base, and it's 2-0 on Coy Carpenter. See if Barnes goes at all in this at-bat. Good bat control from Coy Carpenter. Dalian is on the grass at third, although I don't think I've seen Coy Carpenter put a bunt down at all this year. And the 2-0 pitch is low. It's 3-0. So 7 out of 8 to start the inning, or after the first out, rather, have missed the zone for Tinoco. Middle infield plays at double play depth, and the 3-0 pitch. There's a strike as he finds the outside corner at the knees, just a bit above the knees to Coy Carpenter. It's a great pitch for Barnes to go here. You're definitely needing to throw a strike, and you're hoping Carpenter will put the ball in play. Well, if it's ball 4, Barnes is at second easily, so we'll see what happens. Barnes starts and stops. Same spot for Tinoco, just a little bit higher on the outside corner. The count's full. Another opportunity for Barnes potentially to go, although the Pioneers have already been cut down as Yeager was caught stealing on a 3-1 pitch to Aiden Young last inning. Throw over. Barnes is back with a dive. As always, he's got that pink gear, the pink sleeve. He wears a pink headband underneath the helmet and the hat. And he's got some black and pink batting gloves as well. It'll be a 3-2 pitch to Carpenter with one out here in the bottom of the third. Barnes goes. The breaking ball from Tinoco's fouled off out of play, so we'll do it again. Barnes, who's still at second base, he's talking to Shannon Martin, didn't realize it was a foul ball. So he'll return to first. Maybe he was just catching his breath, taking some time. Throw Tinoco off on the mound, sure, if you're at second base on a foul ball. Another 3-2. Barnes goes again, and the breaking ball is high. It's ball 4. The throw is just about perfect, but Barnes slides in there on the walk to Coy Carpenter. Back-to-back walks for Tinoco. And Gaff will come to the plate. Single to left. First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner to Gaffney. It's 0-1. I'll have to total up his numbers since he's been in the leadoff spot. He might need to hit there for University of Mary, considering the way he's been hitting for the Pioneers since he's been in the leadoff spot this year. The 0-1 is roped towards the left side and goes under the glove of a diving Shannon Martin into left field. Here comes Barnes. Mora's throw is to the plate on one hop, and it is in time. Well, Murphy is coming up hobbling, but he was covering the plate on the slide of E.J. Barnes. And, well, if it was in the majors, he might have had a replay, and he might have been called safe for blocking the plate. But E.J. Barnes is out at the plate, and he high-fives Murphy. A little bit of respect on a good throw from Zach Mora. Back-to-back singles on the day for Kieran Gaffney. Is moving to second is Carpenter. Out at the plate was Barnes, and Gaffney stands at first. A good throw by Zach Mora. It was a perfect throw at that. It was on one hop. Perfect positioning for his catcher Murphy behind the plate to be able to make the play. And La Bestia will come to the plate. The ball, of course, stopped slowly in that grass in the outfield, that high grass. So it wasn't a long throw for Mora. He just had to get there as he bare hand picked it up out there in left field. First pitch to Laya is on the outside corner. Foul tip, and I think it went off the throwing hand of Murphy behind the plate, as it might have gone off the tip of the fingers of Nate Murphy. Cody Hoffrock's going to take time. It's 0-2 on Laya. It's the third inning. A base runner's been cut down at the next base for the Pios. Carpenter off a second, as turning and taking a look at him is Tinoco. Oh, 2 to Laya, and Tinoco is ready, and he deals a breaking ball, cut on and miss. Not often you see Laya go down on strikes on 3 pitches. Just the second time all year that that's happened. And the Pios strand 2 runners and have a runner cut down at the plate. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Third of the way through, we have no score.
Okay, correction on the 14th. On 3. 1, 2, 3. And they're off. Okay, team 1 over here is called 1 Bronco. Team 2 with 2. And team 3 with 4. Give it over team 3. How many Broncos do you guys have? And team 4 with 9. So give it over team 3. He is running. Little celebration by the little man. Back to you, Mom. Great job. Thank you to our friends at Casa de Oro for the continued support.
Top of the 4th, Ronan Hella. Nate Murphy still in the ballgame, although he did take a foul ball off of his throwing hand last inning with 2 outs. So we'll see how he fares at the plate. Hella still on the mound for the Pios. Scoreless still as we head to the 4th, and the first pitch is up high, ball 1. The 1-0 is cut on and missed. And swinging through a breaking ball there was Nate Murphy. One. Swing and a miss again, and a breaking ball by the catcher, Murphy. 1-2. 1-2 pitch is outside as he yanked the fastball there. And the count runs to 2-2. 3, 4, and 5 due up here in the 4th. Hella just over 50 pitches. He'll deal number 52 on the day. Line towards short. Did Barnes make the play on the line? No, and it went past him, so it'll be a single for Nate Murphy, who reached on an E5 his first time. And that'll be the most likely the first hit of the day for the Dodge City A's. Unless they decide to give E.J. Barnes an error at shortstop. That'll be a rough error. Hella looking out at Barnes, and they give him an error. Oh, wow. So Murphy's reached on 2 errors today. Breaking ball is outside. It's 1-0. Murphy's running for himself. Not usual of the catcher to run for themselves. Middle infield plays a double play depth as the left-handed hitting Velasco has a 1-0 count. And the pitch, a breaking ball off the plate, called a strike by the home plate umpire Hoffrock. One count on Velasco. Off the plate, 2-1. Murphy off of first. It's a 2-1 count for Velasco at the plate. The pitch is fouled back, and it goes all the way back past Maroney back towards Hella. As it's 2-2. Solid crowd here at Oregon Trail Park. Helps that you have a couple party decks, so that fills up part of the ballpark pretty easily. Two count on Velasco. Oh, throw over, almost had him leaning, did Murphy over there. Two count on Velasco. Hella will deal another 2-2 with Murphy off of first. Checks on Murphy again after having him leaning last time. Murphy's back easily. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. CD Sharple's on deck. 2-2 pitch is off the plate. It goes full at 3-2. Payoff pitch is fouled off, so we'll do it again at 3-2. It'll be the 8th pitch in the at-bat to Velasco. Three-two again is lined towards center field and deep. But going back is Carpenter. He's on the move, and he makes the play just shy of the warning track. A heck of a play by Corey Carpenter, who might have hurt himself out there in center field. Uh-oh. Carpenter is stretching up against the fencing. See if he's all right. He's walking back to grab his hat that he lost on the play. A heck of a play by Corey Carpenter out there in center field, going towards the deepest part of the ballpark. And the Platte Valley Company sign, the Platte Valley Bank sign, to the left of the 385 sign in center field. Seems like he'll be all right as he stays in the game. I guess the only way to know is to see him tested again out there in center field as C.D. Sharples comes to the plate. First pitch, breaking ball, strike one over the heart of the plate for Ronan Hella. It's 0-1. Carpenter stretching his right leg out there. Hopefully he didn't turn it when he went from the grass to the dirt out there in center field. After tracking down that fly ball. Grounder on 2 hops to Barnes, who backs up towards the outfield grass. Throws to Gaffney at second for 1. The relay to first is not in time. So safe on the back end to C.D. Sharples, but a nice play by E.J. Barnes to get the out at second base as Murphy is out on the force out at second. Jaron Gorsh, of course, goes to the same school as Ronan Hella at UCCS. Comes to the plate for the second time after a well-earned walk his first time up back in the second. Pitch is outside off the plate. It's 1-0. Pitch from Hella. He's down and away, 2-0. Sharples is the runner at first now. Fouled back. It's 2-1. Ella has a 2-1 count. And it's cut on and missed by the right-hander. Two misses, and it's 3-2. Payoff pitch is low, ball 4. Two runners on as Sharples reaches at second and Gorsh is on at first after the walk. Matthew Rivers comes to the plate. Breaking ball on the inside corners, called a strike to Rivers, although it looked a little bit in off the plate. Rivers, who joined the team middle of the season, sees an 0-1 pitch on the same spot on the inside corner on a breaking ball. It's 0-2 on Ronan Hella. Two straight breaking balls. We'll see if Hella throws a third. And the 0-2 is a fastball. Ooh, just missed there to Matthew Rivers. Maroney tried to spot it and frame it there at the top of the zone, but it's 1-2 on Rivers. Runners on first and second. The 1-2 pitch. A breaking ball bounces from Maroney, and it goes up the first baseline, so both runners will move up on the wild pitch. Moving runners to second and third, so it'll be even more important for Maroney to block the next one, as a wild pitch could see a run score. The 2-2 breaking ball skied in the infield. Gaffney and Barnes are there. Barnes calls everybody off, and he makes the play as he goes down to his knees, but he records the third out. So runners stranded on second and third for the Dodge City A's. No runs on no hits, an error, and two runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. We still have no score. Go to the bottom of the fourth, middle of the order, 3, 4, and 5. Nowak, Yeager, and Peterson will lead things off for the Pioneers. Murphy's going to take a trip to the mound before the inning even starts to talk to Tinoco. There's a quick meeting as he returns now. Set now to start the bottom of the fourth. We still have no score here at Oregon Trail Park. Tinoco on top of the mound. Way off at third is Dalian. And the first pitch to the left-handed hitting Nowak is a breaking ball outside corner, strike one. The 0-1 is roped towards the right side and goes through into right field for a single to lead things off for Luke Nowak. Fourth hit of the day for the Pioneers. Gaffney has two of them. And Nowak joins Yeager, who comes to the plate now with the other hit for the Pioneers today. Yeager just missed a home run by probably about 4 feet at the most. Wish we had an angle right down the line to see if it was fair or foul. But he had a single. Nowak goes on the first pitch. This pitch is cut on and missed. It bounces away from Murphy. Goes all the way to the backstop. Nowak thought about going to third. He'll get credit with the stolen base since he was already off with the pitch. He had an opportunity to go to third there and steal an extra base on the swing and miss. Murphy couldn't see it as it popped high up in the air, almost as high as the screen that protects the fans here behind the plate. It went back to the backstop, and Nowak got about a third of the way to third base and decided to hold things there at second. He stands there with nobody out and a 0-1 count on Yeager. Second baseman Gorsh, is shading up the middle a little bit where Yeager hit that ball on an 0-2 pitch his last time as he fouls this one back and is in an 0-2 count once again. Oh, 2 count on the Omaha, Nebraska native Jackson Yeager with Nowak off a second. And the pitch. He reaches for one down and away and is down on strikes. That's been his kryptonite this year. His pitch is down and away. Keep from chasing him. As one of the friends he's built a good relationship this year, Bryce Peterson comes to the plate. First pitch is up high to Peterson. One out count on Peterson. And that one's at the knees on the outside corner from Tinoco. Counts even up at 1-1 on Bryce Peterson with Nowak off of second after he singled to lead things off and then moved up on what he gets credited with a stolen base and almost went to third on a wild pitch. The 1-1 in the dirt. There goes Nowak. He got a great read on that one. He's in there standing up and no throw from Murphy. A great read from Luke Nowak. Sees him move up to third base on the pitch in the dirt from the right-hander for the Dodge City A's. And Nate Murphy's got a little bit of a problem behind the plate. Not sure whether it's his back. As he's arched over, leaning over. Murphy seems all right. Murphy's played third base as well. Isaiah Velasco can catch. And Tyler McAvoy is another catcher on this team. Should Murphy have to come out of this ball game, Velasco's in right field right now. This one's in the dirt. It's 3-1 on Bryce Peterson. A great count for Peterson, who's a really good hitter and a patient hitter as well. And the pitch from Tinoco is just fouled back into the screen. It's 3-2 on the third baseman for the Pioneers. One out, Nowak's at third. Martin is halfway as he creeps up, so they're going to try to cut down the run if it's hit to the left side. And the payoff is reached for and lined towards center field. There's the center fielder Weisermans. He makes the catch. Nowak's coming to the plate. The throw is plenty late. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Bryce Peterson, who gets the job done for the Pioneers and gets them their first run of the day as he brings home Luke Nowak with the Pioneers' first run, making it 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. A good job by Peterson of reaching down for that pitch as trying to get a chase out of the third baseman was Tinoco, but he was able to sky it into center field. And to bring home Luke Nowak. Aiden Young comes to the plate. Swing and a miss, 0-1 on Aiden Young. Swing and a tapper to the left side. It's going to roll foul after bouncing on the grass and then hitting the lip of the grass and rolling foul on the third base side. And so Aiden Young is behind 0-2 in the count. The 0-2. Grounded towards short. Shannon Martin fields, and it goes off the lip of his glove. He poked his glove up too early. That'll be an E6 on the shortstop as Aiden Young will reach here with 2 outs. Martin, who just picked his glove up right before he was getting ready to throw, and that'll be an E6 on the A's shortstop. Maroney comes to the plate. Bounced back to the mound. Swings and grounds one up the middle. Martin goes to a dive, and it goes past him into center field. Aiden Young will stop at second as Weiserman picks it up. So the Pios have 2 runners on after the E6, and a ground ball up the middle for Jake Maroney. Sees him get a base hit after he had a triple yesterday. E.J. Barnes comes to the plate as Andrew Landis will run at first base for Jake Maroney. First pitch to Barnes, who walked his first time, takes a strike on the outside corner towards the middle part of the plate as it's 0-1. Pitch is down and away. It's 1-1. As the Pios lead it 1-0. Barnes calls time. He steps out and takes a couple hacks. Down and away. And it's 2-1. Tinoco, who struggled earlier finding the zone last inning when Barnes was at the plate, is struggling to throw strikes to the shortstop once again. Three and one on Barnes. 3-1 is low. It's another walk for E.J. Barnes. That loads the bases as the error is looming large right now for the shortstop Shannon Martin, and Coach Chris Isaacs will come to the mound and talk to his right-hander. Garrett Martin is starting to get his arm loose down there in the bullpen. He's throwing a football as a way to warm up. As Isaac returns to the dugout. Hoffrock breaks up the meeting. Although the lone man to stay is Nate Murphy. Quite a long meeting out there. First pitch to Coy Carpenter's grounded to the first baseman, Matthew Rivers, who will take it to the bag and end the inning. So the Pios send 7 men to the plate, but they only get 1 run out of it on just 2 hits. And 1 error on Shannon Martin, which almost loomed large, but the Pios get the 1 run to take the lead here at the end of 4. They lead it 1-0. Ronan Hella starts the 5th for the Pioneers and Coach Shane Sharkey as he has the lead now. At 72 pitches is Ronan Hella as he starts the 5th. First pitch is outside to Dalian, 8-9-1 for the Dodge City A's. Pios on top 1-0. Both starters still in the ball game here as we start the 5th. Swing and a miss as he waves at a pitch down and away and probably out of the zone from Ronan Hella. Again, Garrett Martin was throwing in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's, the left-hander. The 1-1 pitch is another breaking ball, so 3 straight breaking balls. Dalian swings through 2 of them, and it's 1-2 on the third baseman. One, two, just misses off the plate. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes is Dalian to start the fifth. Third strikeout on the day for Ronan Hella.
Fans, a friendly reminder to please keep away from the railing. This is for your safety, fans. Please keep away from the netting and the railing.
First pitch. Ooh, that one looked off the plate. Called a strike to Zach Mora. As Mora struck out his first time. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. 0-2 quickly on the shortstop, or left fielder. I believe he played shortstop back in June when the Pios were there in Dodge City. Indeed, he did. He played shortstop in both games. As he takes a fastball. Oh, boy, that looked like strike 3. Maybe a makeup call for the first pitch of this at-bat. 1-2 is a breaking ball, popped up, foul territory. Yeager's chasing it down the first base line. He has the ball go out of his glove. Yeager had a beat on it and looked like he was going to make the play. One, two. Grounded towards the left side. Peterson gives way to Barnes, who makes the throw on the run to the high 6'2 Yeager, who keeps his foot on the bag. Yeager helps out his shortstop there, who makes the throw over to first and records the second out. Of course, last time we were at home, we had 5'6 Coy Carpenter at first base, who, by the way, is still in center field. And he would not have been able to make that play, but having 6'2 Jackson Yeager at first base helps out E.J. Barnes to record the second out, as it'll be the top of the order, third at-bat on the day for Shannon Martin, who's bounced out twice. Once back to the mound and once to Peterson at third. First pitch, fastball outside corner down the middle. Towards the outside part of the plate was that pitch from Hella, and it's 0-1 on Shannon Martin. The 0-1, way down and away. Maroney, who's on one knee, a much more comfortable position for catchers nowadays, although he starts out on both of his feet and then moves down to one knee down, and this one goes to the backstop. It's 2-1. Weiserman waits his turn on deck, most likely Hella's last inning. Nobody throwing in the bullpen, but he's up to 85 pitches on the day. 2-1 count on Shannon Martin, who bats here with 2 outs in the fifth. The Pios have a 1-0 lead on a sac fly in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch is up high, 3-1. Breaking ball inside. It's ball 4 to Shannon Martin, who works a walk. The third walk of the day for Hella. Very unlike him to have more walks than strikeouts on the day, although the A's have been making him work, as Sharkey will take a trip to the mound and talk things over with Ronan Hella, who's at 87 pitches here, as he'll deal to Grant Weiserman. Coach Spear said he's one of those names that he's able to put down just about every day, unless Weiserman asks him for a day off, as he's been one of the more consistent bats. Two-hole hitter Grant Weiserman's at the plate. Runner on first. 1-0. Martin has good speed over there. He put that on display back in Dodge City. He stays put on the first pitch. It's a breaking ball, strike one. The 0-1. On the outside corner, according to Dakota Hoffrock. It's 0-2 quickly. Can he put him away is the question for Ronan Hella. Shannon Martin with a big lead. He stays put, though. Tapper to the right side. Gaffney has the option to go to second, and he'll take it himself, as that'll end the top half of the fifth inning. Well, if the day's over for Ronan Hella, he does a good job of getting through 5, as he finishes on 90 pitches, no runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. And at the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. Piles lead it 1-0. Bottom of the fifth, Pios have a 1-0 lead. Gaffney will lead things off as it's the top of the order against Tinoco, who starts the fifth inning. Garrett Martin was throwing last inning, and there is no baseballs being thrown around. There is a football being thrown around in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's, so we'll see how far they let him go. Gaffney, 2 singles on the day. He's 2 for 2. Both of them have gone to left. First pitch from Tinoco. He swings and grounds one to the left side, and Martin scoops it up. Will throw to first. In time, Gaffney's retired on 1 pitch as Tinoco gets an easy out, as Gaffney goes swinging after the first one. Laya will come to the plate. La Bestia from La Guayra, Venezuela. He's 0 for 2 on the day, which is not often you see that go on for Laya. Takes low and away, 1-0. Lined into a double play and struck out on 3 pitches. The 1-0 is off the plate. It's 2-0. As Elia has a good hitter's count, and Tinoco deals. It's fouled back into the netting behind the plate. It's 2-1. 2-1 pitch from Tinoco. It's on the outside corner at the knees, strike 2. 2-2 count on Francisco. And the pitch is skied in the air behind second base. Going out is the second baseman, Gorge. Coming in is the right fielder. That's Velasco. He makes the play. Laya goes to over 3 on the day. And Luke Nowak will come to the plate as a frustrated Laya is making his way back to the dugout. Pitch looked like it was at the knees of Nowak. Called the ball. That one's in there for a strike. Low, 2-1. Three-one count on Nowak as he takes low. Line drive, and again it gets through into right field for Nowak. Almost identical to the hit he had last at bat, just an inning ago against Tinoco, and he's on here. Yeager comes to the plate. Yeager grounds one through to the right side into right field for a base hit. Back-to-back singles as Yeager gets his second hit of the day following Nowak. And Luke moves to second as Yeager's on at first with his second hit. That pitch misses the zone to Bryce Peterson. It's 1-0. Pitch misses the zone. Two O's outside, 3-0. 3-0's low. It's a 4-pitch walk to Bryce Peterson after his sac fly last time. He's on here, and that loads the bases full of Pioneers with 2 outs in the 5th. They're going to try to let Tinoco get through it. No movement from Isaac or Spear, the 2 coaches for the Dodge City A's in the dugout, as Aiden Young, who's been retired twice today, although he reached on an E6 his last time, comes to the plate. First pitch to Aiden Young is down low. Swing and a miss at that one from Aiden Young. One count on Young with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He swings and fouls this one off out of play. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. Tinoco looking to get out of the 5th. He deals a 1-2 to Young. It's a breaking ball. Ooh, called strike 3 on the inside corner at the knees. Down on strikes looking for the second time today is Aiden Young. Tinoco's day is most likely done. The Pios don't get a run on 2 hits. No errors, and they leave the bases loaded. And at the end of 5, it's still 1-0 Pioneers.
Question. Before chicken strips, what chicken product was included in the kids' meal? Chicken nuggets. And he is correct. Runza used to have dinosaur-shaped nuggets. Give it up for A from section 101. Back to you, Maya. Thank you to our friends at Runza Restaurant for their continued support.
Ronan Hello starts the 6th inning at 90 pitches. Will at least face the first batter here, as it'll be 3, 4, and 5 for the Dodge City A's. As Hella still has a 1-0 lead. The Piles loaded the bases loaded last inning, but they were not able to get a run across. As Tinoco gets through the 5th. And we'll see how Hella fares. It'll be their 3rd time around for the other rest of the lineup. Murphy reached on 2 errors today. He and Gorsh are the only guys to reach base outside of Shannon Martin. as Hella will start the 6th. First pitch to Murphy's off the plate, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, fouled back to the backstop. It's 1-1 as the count is even. It's good to see him stay in the ball game after it seemed like he had a pitch fouled off of his hand, his throwing hand at that, earlier on in the ball game. But he's still out there battling as he battles Hella for the 3rd time today. And the 1-1 pitch is down and away. It bounces up there. Two one pitch. Lined over the head of Gaffney, coming on his Laya. As it floats up there for him, and he'll be able to make the play to retire Murphy. 94 pitches now for Hella. Left-handed hitting right fielder Velasco lined out to Carpenter in center, who made a heck of a play on the move with a runner on. That runner was Murphy back in the 4th. First pitch is strike 1. Swing and a pitch is fouled back right over the press box. The 0-2. Dropping down sidearm. Hella gets a foul ball off the bat of Velasco. Oh, 2 is flared towards left. Coming on is Nowak. He has a long way to go, and he makes the play as he goes down to the ground. Oh, the ball came out of his glove. Oh, that'll be the first hit on the day. Single to left for Velasco. Sharple's the batter. First pitch is a breaking ball out of the zone. It's 1-0. Pitch is at the knees there. It's a strike. One is low. It's 2-1. Pitch is in the dirt. A good stop by Velasco at first, who's on with the first hit of the day for the Dodge City A's. 2 errors credited to Bryce Peterson and E.J. Barnes, and Velasco reaches. And a fly ball to left once again. This one's a lot easier for Nowak as he goes towards the line and back a bit. He'll make the play. Second out recorded as Hella is at 103 pitches on the day. The batter will be Jaron Gorsh, so he'll have an opportunity to get his college teammate at University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. He hasn't been able to get him either time today as he walked him twice. Pitch is in there for a strike. It's Cameron Meyer down in the bullpen for the Pioneers. Throw over, back in time is Velasco. Pitch is fouled back. Well, 105 pitches on the day for Hella. He'll deal number 106 on an 0-2 count to Gorsh. Fastball way high. Hella gets ready to deal a 1-2 with the runner on first, and the 1-2 is cut on and missed. He gets him on strikes, and hyped out there on the mound is Ronan Hella as he finishes his day with some shutout ball of the Dodge City A's. And you know he's fueled after his outing in relief against that team. So no runs on the first hit of the day, no errors, and a runner left on base. We get to the bottom of the sixth. Pios still have a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on KNEB Radio and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. Dom Roberts takes over for Nate Murphy, so maybe he felt something on the fly ball to right last inning as he's behind the plate. And on the mound is Garrett Martin as he'll deal to Jake Maroney. The left-hander, Martin, deals low, 1-0. Garrett with 2 T's at the end. It deals a strike. Wearing number 23 for the A's. Is going 5 innings and giving up 7 hits, but just the 1 run was Frank Tanaka. The 1-1 is lined towards center field. Weiserman is not going to be able to make the play. Martin throws his hands up, wondering what Weiserman's was doing. You know, it's almost that time of night where it's kind of hard to pick up the baseball from behind the ballpark. So maybe it was a little bit difficult for Weiserman's to pick that one up out there in center field. Of course, pitchers throwing their hands up doesn't make any sense when they're not usually playing in the outfield. Landis runs for Maroney again at first. The 1 run that Tinoco gave up was an earned run. He walked 4 Pios. As hitting E.J. Barnes with that pitch is Martin. If you're going to throw your hands up, you need to throw strikes after that as Martin hits E.J. Barnes on the very next pitch. First and second for the Pioneers with nobody out as Carpenter comes to the plate. Also struck out 4 Pioneers, did Frank Tinoco. Hella certainly is done on the day. He finishes on 107 pitches. Cameron Meyer, who was warming up in the bullpen, most likely will come into this ball game. Showing bunt is Coy Carpenter. This one's inside. It goes to the backstop. Rounding third is Landis. He'll stay there, however, as moving to second is Barnes. Talking to his starter, Martin. Excuse me, his relief pitcher, Martin, is Dom Roberts, the new catcher. Swing and a fly ball down the left field line. This one will get out of play for strike 1 rather, after showing bunt on the first pitch was Coy Carpenter. Pitch is just low, below the knees from the left-hander Martin. 2-1 on Coy Carpenter. With runners on second and third, the infield's in, although the second baseman Gorsh is about halfway in. 3-1 now as that pitch is up high. Martin goes into the windup on the 3-1, and it's fouled back by Carpenter. The count runs full on the center fielder and the left-handed hitting Coy Carpenter. See if Landis goes on contact, if Carpenter can put this ball into play. 3-2 count and the pitch to Carpenter. Outside, ball 4. So after the single to center that Martin was frustrated with, he's hit E.J. Barnes and he's walked Coy Carpenter. Gaffney, the batter, with the bases loaded, takes a fastball above the belt for strike 1. That one misses. Stretching out there is Chasten Keck in the bullpen. He's from Dodge City, Kansas, as he's using the bands that pitchers usually use to start their warm-ups. 1-1 on Gaffney. He swings and drives one to left field. Back by the wall. Esta pelota se fue. It's a grand slam for Kieran Gaffney. And he blows the game open. It's 5-0 Pioneers. This ball is gone. Gaffney with his team leading 4th home run on the season. And it's a grand slam as he joins DJ Barnes with a grand slam on the season. And the Pios have a 5-0 lead. Gaffney got a pitch down and in, and he's done some damage on those kinds of pitches. And he did the most damage that you can do at the plate, hitting a grand slam over the Coors Light sign in left field. Cody Hoffrock needs some new baseballs. Gaffney might want that baseball after his grand slam. First 4 have reached and scored thanks to the grand slam from Kieran Gaffney. I'm sure Ronan Hella is excited in the dugout as well. Pioneers looking for what would be a huge win in league play. First pitch is a strike to La Bestia. Francisco Laya, who's reached in 25 out of the 29 games he's played. He currently has a 11-game on base streak. It's 1-1 as that one misses. Gaffney making a bid for him to be the most important player on this team. It's been Laya for most of the season, who takes down and in as this one goes to the backstop. It's 2-1. But the Broomfield, Colorado native gives the Pios a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Two-one count for Laya. Coach Ryan Spears going to take a trip to the mound. And the belt of Garrett Martin broke. That's why. The belt of Martin came off. Laya thought it might be a pitching change on a 2-1 count, though. Ryan Spears just grabbing the broken belt of Garrett Martin from behind the mound. Laya back in the box. Martin ready on the mound. He'll deal a 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, low, 3-1. 3-1 pitch to Laya. 4 home in the inning thanks to the grand slam. He walks and reaches base safely for the first time today. So you can push it to 26 for 29, for 30 rather on the year is Laya in the games that he's had at bats in which he's reached base safely. Going out to the mound is Dom Roberts, maybe to buy some time for Chaston Keck. 6'5" right-hander is in the bullpen. Although a new arm is throwing now that the game is a little bit further than what it was, as Garrett O'Day is also throwing down in the bullpen. The right-hander from Notre Dame College and Alliance, Ohio. Nowak comes to the plate, having singled twice off of Tinoco to right field in back-to-back at-bats. First pitch to Luke is grounded to the right side. Laya was going on the play. Fielding and throwing to first. Laya's going for third. The throw from Rivers is not in time as Laya's in there standing up. Boy, Francisco Laya pushes the tempo on the base pass. He's 27 for 32 on the 28 for 33 on the season in stolen bases. As he was off with that pitch, he ends up at third base on a ground ball to second. Once again, playing electrifying baseball is Francisco Laya. Nowak's out on the ground ball, and Laya's now at third with 1 out for Jackson Yeager, who missed a home run by, like I said, less than 5 feet. First pitch from Martin is swung on and missed at a pitch down in the zone to Jackson Yeager. Wind up in the 0-1. Inside, it's 1-1. Pitch is reached for and fouled off down the right field line by Yeager. Gaffney with a grand slam, and it's 5-0 after the Piles got their first run back in the fourth. They've tagged Garrett Martin for 4, potentially 5 with a runner on third base. That pitch hit Yeager, so it'll be another hit by pitch for Garrett Martin, his second of the inning. As the 8th batter of the inning, Bryce Peterson will come to the plate. Runners on the corners for the Pios now. Signs being delivered by Dom Roberts on what to do if Yeager steals, although Yeager's been caught stealing already today, so he's most likely going to stay put. First pitch to Peterson, up high. Up high again and inside, tight on the hands of Peterson, who raises his hands out of the way. It's 2-0. I believe it's Alejandro Castillo who's starting to throw. He started the game yesterday. He threw 79 pitches. 2-0 to Peterson is below the knees, 3-0. Jin Kobayakawa is working hard. He's switching back and forth between the two pitchers in the bullpen to make sure that they both get their work in. The 3-0 is up high from Garrett Martin, and that's another walk. It's a 4-pitch walk and back-to-back at-bats. Maroney scores, and we're going to have a pitching change. Rather, nobody scored on the play. It's just bases loaded here. Moving to second is Yeager. Garrett Martin looks frustrated out there. You know, he was frustrated. Thought he might be coming out of the ball game, but he's going to stay in the ball game here. Dodge City has a couple of games left on the season. Mooser, who was in the first base coach's box, was going to hit if they took out the left-hander Garrett Martin. But he stays in the ball game as the bases are loaded for Aiden Young. Middle infield plays back at double play depth. Pitch is inside, 1-0. Is outside and low, 2-0. You know, go back to the first at-bat. It was a single to center field for Jake Maroney, who stands on deck. And Garrett Martin threw his hands up, wondering why Grant Weisermans didn't make the play. And, well, his outing so far shouldn't be throwing your hands up at a center fielder for playing it conservative if you're going to pitch like this. 3-0 now. Breaking ball, swinging 3-0, and I wonder why after a 4-pitch walk and a hit by pitch is Aiden Young. 3-1 as he helps out the left-hander Garrett Martin. 3-1 pitch. Line to left field. That ball's going to get down for a hit. Yeager will move to third. Scoring is Laya. Everybody will go station to station. It's an RBI single for Aiden Young. Piles have batted around here in the 6th, and they lead it 6-0. Got to think that that'll be it for Garrett Martin. And here's the second trip to the mound. So indeed it is the end of the day for Garrett Martin, the left-hander, who doesn't get through an inning of work, as he gave up 5 runs. And the frustrated left-hander walks off the mound before his coach is even on the mound. Oh, boy. We're going to come back with a pitching change, as it'll be Chasten Keck or Garrett O'Day, one of the two right-handers, when we come back.
Fans are currently outside from attending. Fans attending are out. Now on the mound for the Postgame A's, Garrett O'Day, number 10. Now to bat your Pioneers, catcher number 8, Jake Maroney.
Garrett O'Day, the new pitcher, is on the mound from Alliance, Ohio. He's a sophomore at Notre Dame College. As Garrett with 1 T takes over for Garrett with 2 Ts. Bases loaded still. Corners are in. Middle infield plays back for the double play as first pitch to Jake Maroney is fouled off out of play first base side. A third of an inning, he gave up 3 hits, walked 5 batters, didn't strike anybody out. The lone out he got was on a ground ball to second base, in which Laya raced to third as he was going on the pitch. 5 runs home in the bottom of the 6th for the Pioneers. Swing, and this one's fouled right back our way into the screen. And it's 0-2 quickly on Jake Maroney here. One of the most underrated stats for relievers is inherited runners, as he inherits 3. See how many Garrett O'Day can strand. Oh, 2 count on Jake, who calls time. Waiting too long is Garrett O'Day. Dalian and Rivers are in on the grass. And Martin and Gorsh up the middle play for the double play on the Pios catcher, who has good speed for a catcher. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, just off the plate. Had a chance to be strike 3, maybe borderline right there. But it's 1-2 on Maroney. O'Day, wind up, and the 1-2. On the corner. Oh, boy. Where's that, Cody? Cody Hoffrock, the home plate umpire. Maybe a bit low. Even then, that looked at the knees. Two and two now on Maroney. Bases loaded, 1 out. Swing and a ground ball fair over the first base bag and down the right field line. A late swing from Maroney, races for second as 2 runs will come home. The throw's cut off on the way into second base. And Jake Maroney with his second hit of the inning. It's a 2 RBI double down the first base line. And almost a lucky hit there for Maroney, although it was a late swing. He's lucky to have it be fair and get 2 RBIs out of it. But I guess you could say a good piece of hitting. as Andrew Landis, who was the first base coach, is going to replace Maroney. Although they need a first base coach with nobody at first base. But he's going to make the catcher go coach first base. Maroney with a huge 2 RBI double down the first base line. Moving to third was Aiden Young. Landis runs for Maroney. Foul ball on the first pitch to E.J. Barnes. As it goes straight back behind the plate. Maroney got a pitch up and out of the zone. It might have been in the zone, but it was definitely up and away. And he tapped it fair as the first baseman, Rivers, was playing way off the first base bag, trying to cut down a run at the plate, and maybe a ball in between him and the second baseman, Gorsh, who was shaded up the middle. 2 runs come home, and now it's second and third, 8-0 Pioneers. Swing, line drive, center field. Wiseman's on the move. He's not going to get there, and it falls in front of him. Landis is coming home, right behind Aiden Young. E.J. Barnes is on his way to second. He sneaks in the backside. He'll get credited with a 2 RBI double. It's 10-0. A 9-run inning for the Pioneers has seen them take a 10-0 lead. E.J. Barnes follows his San Jose State Spartan with a double to center field as he snuck in the backside of the play to an unalert Shannon Martin. Great read on that ball out there in center field. Saw it was going to fall in front of Weiserman's. And it's 10-0 now. Grounder up the middle. Gorsh is there. Moving to third is Barnes. The throw to first is in time. That'll be the second out. Moving to third is E.J. Barnes, as Gaffney will bat for the second time. Gaffney hit a grand slam, making it 5-0. It's 10-0 now. Gaffney pops one up down the first baseline. Going out is the first baseman who reaches out. Did he make the play? He did. Oh, a nice play down the first baseline in foul territory by the first baseman, Matthew Rivers. And the Pioneers finally end their inning here as they send 13 men to the plate. They scored 9 runs on a total of 4 hits. And there were no errors in the inning, and they leave 1 on base. At the end of 6, the Pios have a 10-0 lead here on KNEB Radio and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page.
On the mound, number 12, Cameron Myers, WNCC. Listen up, fans. We have a $2 blowout sale on hot dogs and hamburgers at the Kentucky stand now. Get them while they last.
Back here as we start the top of the 7th. Cameron Myers on the mound for the Pioneers, as he'll have 7, 8, 9 in the order. The Scottsbluff, Nebraska native and the WNCC player will come to the mound, take over on the mound, as it's a new batter at the plate. That's Ryan Buckley.
Now batting for the A's, number 26, Ryan Buckley.
So Ryan Buckley. Grounder to third on the first pitch. Throw to first is in time. Buckley. I haven't seen a name Buckley in the ball game in a long time since Wyatt Buckley was here. Grounds out on the first pitch from Cameron Meyer. And there's one out here in the seventh. Hella goes 6 innings. Gives up just the 1 hit on the record. No runs, no errors. No earned runs, rather. He did walk 3 batters, rather. Popped up to first base. Yeager's there. He's in fair territory. He makes the play, and there's quickly 2 down. Well, fans, if this play is made and the A's don't score, the Pioneers will win this one. It's 10-0 here in the 7th. Hello walked 3, struck out 4. Zach Mora, the batter. He also threw 107 pitches, did the Albuquerque, New Mexico native. Meyer's only thrown 2. He's gotten 2 outs. First pitch inside to Zach Mora, who smartly takes the first pitch. Garrett Martin, he gets charged with 8 runs, all of them being earned. After he struggled his last time out as well. Swing and a miss through that one by Mora. It's 1-1. Bo Dallion was the one who popped up his last time. Popped up as the last batter. 1-1 is outside off the plate. 2-1 count on Mora, who struck out his first time against Hella, then bounced out to E.J. Barnes. Mora has played shortstop before against the Pioneers, so we'll see where he is tomorrow. He skies this one down the left field line. Nowak is giving it a chase towards the bullpen. Does he have room? No. It'll land in the bullpen, and it'll be strike 2. So down to their final strike tonight, possibly, are the Dodge City A's here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Meyer, who wears number 12, formerly of Ryan Johnston, who left the team after the Military War Dogs game. The 2-2. Breaking ball, skied again down the left field line. Making a bead for the bullpen again is this foul ball. And it lands just short of the bullpen over the fence as Peterson chased that one along with Barnes and Nowak. I think it did make it to the bullpen since E.J. Barnes got the baseball back in. Still 2-2 count on Mora with Martin waiting for a chance on deck. Meyer ready to deal a 2-2. Up and in. Oh, boy. Mora almost turned into that one. It almost got a piece of his hands there. Payoff to Zach Mora is hit in the air down the right field line. Laya gives it a chase. He's got a room, and he makes the play, and that'll end the ball game. Pios will win it 10-0. As they record the final out, they throw a 1-hit shutout. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left for Cameron Meyer in his 1 inning, and the Pios win it 10-0 in the first game against the Dodge City A's. A big game for the Pioneers, who need both of these games against Dodge City if they're going to finish where they want to in the league standings. So it's a 10-0 win. We'll come back and we'll do a quick runs of postgame for you here on KNEB Radio and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. Once again, the Pios win it 10-0.
Remember, if you can't be here in person, you can listen to them at KNEB AM 960, FM 123, or stream the game on the Pios YouTube channel. And we'd like to ask you to please help out our game day staff and interns by picking up any trash near you and disposing of it as quickly and effectively. Thank you for coming out to support your Pioneers, and please travel safely wherever you're headed. Good night.
All righty, we're back here at Oregon Trail Park as we get set to start the Runs of Postgame show. Pios win it 10-0 in 7 innings, although the 10-run score should not flatter the Pioneers through the first 5 innings of this ball game. It was a very, very competitive game with the Pioneers only having 7 hits off the starter, but they couldn't get more than a run against Frank Tinoco. Now, the Pioneers had every single batter in the order score a run today, as all of them scored in the 6th inning, minus Luke Nowak, as Maroney, in fact, scored 2 runs in that inning. But Nowak had scored back in the 4th inning on the first run of the ball game for the Pioneers, so everybody scored a run today. And for the Pioneers, Ronan had 6 innings, giving up just 1 hit, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts on 107 pitches as Cameron Meyer pitched the final inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander as he finished out the ball game. And on the other side, Tinoco battled through 5 innings, giving up those 7 hits, as I mentioned, but only the 1 run, which was very, very key. He walked 4, struck out 4, but like I said, he kept his team in the ball game. And until the bottom of the 6th inning, when he had to come out of the ball game and Garrett Martin came in, the Dodge City A's were not far from winning this ball game, or at least taking the lead and having a chance to win the ball game. Now, the inning started with Maroney and a singling to center field and a hit by pitch and a walk. And then it was a grand slam home run from Kieran Gaffney to left field over the Coors Light side by the scoreboard out there in left field here at Oregon Trail Park, about 335 feet away from home plate. That gave the Pioneers a 5-0 lead. They would go on to tack on 5 more runs in the inning, 2 on a double by Jake Maroney and then a double by E.J. Barnes that scored 4 of those runs. And it was an RBI single by Aiden Young that tacked on the other run. So the Pioneers win it today 10-0. They'll be back here tomorrow night at 6:35. We'll be here on KNEB Radio and on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page to run you through that one as the Pioneers win today's game 10-0. And they'll have to win another game in a league game against the Dodge City A's tomorrow night as well. So for everybody at the Western Nebraska Pioneers, I'm your voice of the Pioneers, Jeffrey Nelson. We thank you for listening to Pioneers Baseball on KNEB Radio and watching it on the Western Nebraska Pioneers YouTube page. And we hope that you join us tomorrow night when the Pioneers take on these same Dodge City A's here at Oregon Trail Park.